أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين، محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه. قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. فاقصص القصص لعلهم يتفكرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Why do we study history? Have you noticed, especially when we were kids and we were still in primary school, sometimes we used to think that history is so boring. We might have also thought that our history teachers at school, it was just so tedious. It was so boring. Also, we used to think that studying history is just pointless. It's useless. Why? Because what's past has passed. Can you change history? So what's the point? Nothing can be changed. But have you noticed that, for example, every day the sun rises from the east and sets to the west, and things just go on to daily routine? Have you noticed that things happen again? Conflicts, disputes, wars, battles. There's a saying that says history repeats itself. It's like we're living on a ball, and this ball is constantly in a rotation, is orbiting itself, and a lot of events, a lot of things happen again. Those who study history, have you noticed that the more they know about history, the more, the more they're able to manage the present? Why? Because history repeats itself. Those who study history, they're able to build up a better future for themselves. Otherwise, you will just end up making the same mistakes as the people in the past. So it's pretty risky. Not studying history is pretty risky. Now, when we come up with a big event, for example, if someone gets killed, any random person gets stabbed, as a human being, as someone who has intellect, you would want to investigate this case. And you probably, for example, if you find someone stabbed, you'd probably like to find out what happened and what caused this. And investigators, they come, they do forensic science, they try to solve a case, whether or not it was done by accident or it was done on purpose. Was it self-harm, or was this culprit attacked by someone? For any case, for any matter, on the day of Ashura, it seemed like it was a very ordinary and a normal day. The sun roses from the east. Creatures, animals, insects, they all rise up to do their daily routine. When all of a sudden, the creatures, the universe, everyone gets shocked by seeing something. That the grandson of the final messenger, who is innocent, who hasn't done anything wrong, is calling out for help. أما من مغيث يغيثنا أما من داب يذب عن حرم رسول الله. Is there anyone to help us? Is there anyone to help the progeny, the women folk, the family of the Prophet? And who is he calling out help from? From the people who claim to be the followers of that Prophet. So imagine you've never heard about Ashura. You only knew Imam Hussein and the Prophet. And you're someone new to the event. So you've never heard that something happened to Imam Hussein in Karbala, and you hear the story for the first time. You will be naturally shocked, because you would say, hold on, what's going on here? What is the roots for all of this? Why is it that the grandson of the Prophet, he is not being battled and attacked by foreigners, by non-believers, by Christians, by Jews? He's being attacked. He's calling out for help. From who? From people who claim to be from the followers of his own grandfather. So let's do a short and a brief investigation from history. During the time of the Prophet, after the Prophet, it is narrated that after he had finished with his mission, the Prophet, what was the Prophet's role? To guide people, to remind people. So the Prophet guided the people and fulfilled his duty and had all this jihad, all this hardship he went through for the people. So one day, as it's narrated, some people came to the Prophet and they said, "Oh Prophet, would you like anything? Is there anything that we can do for you, for whatever you've done for us?" So the Prophet waited for Allah to tell him what to say. So the verse came down, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. That I do not ask anything from you except to have mawaddah for the qurba. Now, with knowing this, that the progeny of the Prophet, the Ahlul Bayt, they are also special. It's not just the Prophet himself, it's also his family. And even the Sunnis, they also believe in this, that the Ahlul Bayt, they are also special. Even story like Hadith al-Kisa, that the Shia narrated, the story of al-Kisa, where after it was done, Allah revealed this verse, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهَبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. Sahih Muslim, Aisha, she narrates the story, but very briefly. And she says that the Prophet said, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. So everyone knows, the Shia and the Sunni, they all know that the Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt, they're both special. So what's going on? Why is it that the progeny of the Prophet are being attacked by Muslims? And the shocking thing is that it's not just they are attacking Imam Hussein, but it's just that they are attacking everyone else who's with him, including the women and the children. So what was going on? For every organization, every terrorist organization, when they do something, the ones that organize this terrorist organization, the leaders of it, the ones that set up this people to do these terrorist acts, they are responsible for every act that this organization does. For example, whatever Daesh did, who's the first person is to be blamed for? their leader, right? And the ones that built up this organization. So these people who killed Imam Hussein, they didn't just pop up from thin air. They had leaders, and their leaders had leaders. So where did they come from? It is narrated that Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura, in one of the stances, he says that "Qatalani fulanun wa fulan." The ones that killed me was so and so. They were the ones that taught people to oppose the progeny of the Prophet. You know how sometimes we might know things, but as long as no one has done it, we wouldn't have knew. They say that we never knew that you were able to kill someone, to murder someone, before Qabil. Qabil was the first person to murder another person. So probably us humans, we wouldn't have understood, we wouldn't have learned this, that you can actually take someone else's life. Yes, other people die, but for you to take someone else's life, you didn't know. Have you noticed sometimes, for example, people say that when they want to prove their argument, for example, they want something from another person. So they say, look, other people also do this. If someone listens to music, for example, they love listening to music. And some of these people, you would tell them, listen, music is not halal. They would say, look, many people do it. So he is also learning from other people. They are also becoming examples. So it was those people who started this rebellion to just oppose the progeny of the Prophet. Otherwise, people knew that they were supposed to become the successors for the Prophet. Now, and then they were the ones who brought someone like Muawiyah into power. Right now, I'm just saying what happened, like the Arabs would say, فِي الظاهر, what was apparent. But there is other things that also contributed to the fact. So Muawiyah, he becomes the ruler. He also wants everyone to obey him because he likes rulership. And then he tries to take people's obeying for his son Yazid. So Yazid comes, and then Yazid orders everyone to do bay'ah for him. Now, what is bay'ah? Bay'ah is basically when you come to someone, you go to someone, and you say that I sell myself to you. I sell my wealth for you. So basically, I submit for you. And then Imam al-Hussein refuses to do bay'ah. And then Yazid tries to force Imam Hussein to do the bay'ah, and then he murders Imam Hussein. So this is just an overall and what happened في الظاهر. Just a few brief points. Right now, not all the Muslims commemorate for Muharram. Muharram comes, it's mostly the Shia who mourn and who commemorate Muharram. Why? Because they also have some justifications. For example, they say, look, Yazid killed Imam Hussein. And they make some assumptions. They have, as we like to call it, husn dhan. They try to make it, look, it's still not certain that he deliberately committed that act. But the thing is, if you try to investigate what happened, you would realize a few things. Number one, the way the massacre took place, the way Imam Hussein was killed. Before Yazid, there was a group of people, they were called the Khawarij. The Khawarij were the ones who fought with Amir al-Mu'mineen. They used to think that you don't need to follow an imam. You just read whatever there is left from religion and try to do it yourself. You don't need a teacher to teach you anything. You don't need someone to help you out. Just do it the way you think it's right. Okay? So these Khawarij, their problem was that they had the wrong idea. They didn't have enough knowledge, right? So they would view some people as non-believers and they would kill them. And in this day and age, we've seen people like them, like Daesh and Al-Qaeda. They would just label you and they will take your life if you're not agreeing with them, right? But the thing is, the way Ashura took place, you wouldn't say that these people, they were like the Khawarij. Because the Khawarij, for example, if they kill another person, they might kill them in a brutal way, but they wouldn't do it the same way Bani Umayyah did. They wouldn't kill their culprit while he's thirsty, on purpose. They could have done what they could have done on the day of Ashura. They could have just besieged Imam Hussein and not allow Imam Hussein to have access to water, and all they had to do was to just wait until they get martyred from thirst. They could have done that, but they chose to attack. And they chose to attack in the worst possible manner. Okay, here you might say, well, hold on, maybe they just got agitated and angry and they killed in that manner. But the thing is, after they killed, they also did things that didn't indicate that what they were doing was just an act of an anger issue or an anger problem. Because Ashura didn't just stop on Ashura. They also took the heads, uppered it on spears, and took it all the way to Sham. And they were happy about it. You wouldn't say that this is just because they just got angry. No, this was done deliberately. So you would investigate even more, just like any other crime scene. When you see that someone was just killed, you might have some thoughts. What if they were just killed by accident? What if they were just killed? Someone was just angry. But if they were stabbed a couple of times, no, you would have more and more questions. The thing was, and these are just a few points of the batin of what deeply happened. Number one, the reason why Yazid killed Imam Hussein was the same reason why Pharaoh wanted to kill Prophet Musa. The same reason why Namrud wanted to kill and burn Prophet Ibrahim. It's deeper than that. That Yazid, he just wants to rule. He just wants to become king. So anyone that opposes him, he would want to kill him. No. He would want to challenge God. He wants to claim that he's God. And he didn't also pop up from thin air. It was from his father, and his father from his leaders. And this is what happened from the beginning. So what's the big deal? What if Imam Hussein just did bay'ah? What will happen? The thing is that he wanted Imam Hussein to not just do bay'ah, but to also prostrate to him, to do sujood for Yazid, to worship him. It wasn't just do bay'ah and we'll let you alone. No. It was something more than that. This bay'ah, if Imam Hussein had done this bay'ah, It would have been the same thing if Amir al-Mu'mineen had done bay'ah. There was nothing left from religion. You might think that it was just something personal. This is what some Wahhabis think and believe, that Imam Hussein wanted him to become the Khalifa, so he just didn't do bay'ah. Imam Hussein says, it's narrated that he says in one of the sayings, that Yazid شارب الخمور راكب الفجور قاتل النفس المحترمة ومثلي لا يبايع مثلي. He elaborates and he explains why he's not doing bay'ah. What he says that mithli, someone like me, does not do bay'ah to someone like him. He doesn't say that I, Al-Hussein, I won't do bay'ah to Yazid. It's not a personal issue. It's not something based on your whims. It's deeper than that. Yazid wants to become Fir'aun. Also, some people also say that what if Imam Hussein just surrendered to them? They had given Imam Hussein, for example, the aman, that if you stop fighting, that's it. If you just surrender to us and come to us, we won't kill you. Imam al-Hussein on the day of Ashura also says to them. One of the people on the day of Ashura says to Imam Hussein this, just in case we get this misconception. He says to Imam Hussein, أو لا تنزل على حكم بني عمك فإنهم لن يروك إلا ما تحب. If you come to your cousins, and what he means is Bani Umayyah, because they were both from Quraysh. If you come and just submit to them, we won't do anything to you. So Imam Hussein says to them, says to that person, his name was, I can't remember his name right now, but he was the brother of Mohammed AlModarresi. Mohammed AlModarresi, he had the same story with Muslim ibn Aqil. He said to Muslim ibn Aqil that I will give you the aman. I will be responsible for your safety. If you surrender after Muslim ibn Aqil had started a fight, if you surrender, I will guarantee your safety. Don't worry. So after they take Muslim ibn Aqil as captive and they take him to Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, la'natullah alayh, he just orders to kill Muslim ibn Aqil. So this aman has no meaning. Imam Hussein says to him that أتريد أن يطلبك بنو هاشم أكثر من دم مسلم ابن عقيل. You've already done this to Muslim ibn Aqil. So do you want Banu Hashim to avenge more blood than Muslim ibn Aqil? So he mentions the issue of Muslim ibn Aqil, the case of Muslim ibn Aqil. So they said nothing. They weren't trustworthy. So even if Imam Hussein had surrendered, they still wanted more. It was all about Farqana. It was more deeper than that. هذا والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.